For today, we're going to be moving into what we call creating definitions. We're going to talk about a few angles. We're going to talk about complementary, supplementary, and adjacent. Now, complementary and supplementary, one way I'm going to help you guys remember this, I'm going to make a little cross. I want to make a little cross, and I'm going to write complementary and supplementary in alphabetical order. So complementary first and supplementary later. The way we're going to learn how to use complementary, supplementary, once again, write them in alphabetical order. Now, these angles have to deal with 90 or 180. So let me write my numbers in numerical order. So I'm going to write 90 first and then 180 second. Now, this table, what this tells me is complementary angles are two angles that add up to 90. Complementary angles, they add up to 90. Supplementary angles, they add up to 180. Another name for supplementary, people call it linear pair. The reason why is because are two angles that make a line. The angle of a line is 180. So complementary, they add up to 90. Supplementary, they add up to 180. Now, adjacent, these two angles happen to be adjacent most of the time. Adjacent are two angles that happen to share a side. I could have one angle there, and I could have another angle there. Notice how both of them shared a side. That's what we call adjacent. Adjacent is next to. So all right, let's talk about these angles. So for the first part, I'm going to ask you guys, find the measure of angle B. Now, I noticed that these two angles combined make 90 degrees. Notice how there's a little red box, that means 90. So I know these are combined, they make 90 degrees. I'm talking about, in this case, about complementary angles. So I know that 67 plus B is equal to 90. Now that looks like a simple algebra question. My case, let me move the 67 to the other side. Don't forget to switch the sign. So I'm going to have that B happens to be 90 minus 67 happens to be 23. So it's 23 degrees. On your homework, just type in 23. I'm just looking for a 23. That's the measurement of the angle. Don't worry about the degree symbol, just 23. Looking at question number 8. Now the red box is outside, but I know this is also 90 degrees. The reason why, because that's a line, and that line is 180. So one half is 90, the other half is also 90. Now here I know that B plus 56 is equal to 90. Now I'm just going to use simple algebra. My 56, I'm going to move it over. Don't forget to switch the sign. Now 90 minus 56 happens to be 34. On your homework, just type 34. Don't go B equals 34. Just type in 34. So that's dealing with the complementary angles. Now our supplementary, you notice how here's angle B and here's angle 98. See how I have a line? And those are the two angles on one side of my line. So that's why I said sometimes people call linear paired. Now, I know whole circle is 360. One side of a line, the angle of one side of the line looks like half of a circle, so it must be 180. So let me just write B plus 98 is equal to 180. And I'm dealing with the angle of a line. So I'm dealing with supplementary. That means they add up to 180. Now, to get B by itself, let me subtract 98. 180 minus 98 happens to be 82. On your homework, just type in 82. Don't go B equals 82, just 82. Same thing with question number 10. I see there's that angle, and I see there's that angle. Look, I didn't put them right next to each other, but look, it makes half of a circle. It's the angle of a line. So I know that 104 plus B, because I add those two angles, equals 180. To solve for B, let me subtract 104. In this case, B equals 76. So it's very simple. Now for adjacent angles, what we're going to be doing is, I said that a whole circle is 360. So look, here I have part of a circle. So in fact, let me use red instead. A whole circle is made out of 294, which is that angle, plus B, because I'm going to add B, and then I'm going to add 25. I'm trying to make the whole circle. In this case, I needed to add 3 angles to make the whole circle. A whole circle is 360 degrees. So I'm gonna add this 3 angles and equals to 360. Now the left side, 294 plus 25, I can combine that. 294 plus 25, I can combine that. That's 319. So I have B plus 319 is equal to 360. Now my 319, let me move it over. And I happen to get that B is equal to 41. That angle B is 41. Now let's take a look at question number 12. To begin with, I have 297. I'm going to be adding 31, and I'm going to be adding angle B. I added those 3 angles, and it happens to make the whole circle, right? The whole circle is 360. Now, the left side, I can easily combine 297 plus 31. Right? 297 plus 31 is 328. So I have 328 plus B equals 360. Let me subtract 328. So 360 minus 328 happens to be 32. So I'm going to say angle B is 32 degrees.